All right, let's dive into a wild financial story. Today, we've got a cautionary tale for the ages, all told through the eyes of one very, very ambitious squirrel. So let me ask you this. How is it even possible to lose more money than you actually put into something? I mean, it sounds like a riddle, right? A total paradox. Well, that's the scary question at the heart of our story today. And trust me, our squirrel is about to learn the answer the hard way. So let's set the scene. It all starts with what seems like a can't miss opportunity, a moment of pure, unfiltered confidence. This is Act 1, the greedy bet. Okay, so picture it. A trading floor just buzzing with chaos. Phones are ringing off the hook, numbers are flashing everywhere. And right in the middle of all that madness, at his own little desk, is our hero, a squirrel who is absolutely 100% convinced he's figured it all out. And this is the number that has him so excited. 80 cents. He's staring at a stock that's so incredibly cheap, it feels like a guaranteed win. You can just see the wheels turning in his head. How much lower can this thing possibly go? This is a sure thing. And with all the swagger in the world, he just leans back, gives a little wink, and shouts for everyone to hear, "I will be so rich." And then, bam, he slams this giant red button on his desk. So what did that big red button just do? Well, he just placed a short sell. Now, short selling is basically betting that a stock is going to tank. You borrow a bunch of shares, you sell them right away at their current price, and your entire game plan is to wait for the price to crash, buy them back for cheap, and pocket the difference. Sounds pretty clever, right? Well, hold that thought. Because this, my friends, is where our story takes a very, very sharp turn. This is where the market decides to do the exact opposite of what our squirrel expected. Welcome to Act 2, the squeeze. So instead of going down, the stock doesn't just climb, it explodes. We're talking unbelievable speed here. It leaps from 80 cents to $2.50. A second later, it's $5. And before he can even process what's happening, it's sitting at $7.50, just blinking this angry, fiery red on his screen. And as those numbers are rocketing up, you can literally watch that smug grin on our squirrel's face just melt away. His eyes go wide. That confidence is replaced by pure, uncut panic. You know, the kind of shock that hits you when you realize you've just made a truly catastrophic mistake. This breaks it down perfectly. This is the nightmare scenario for a short seller. On one side, you've got the dream. The stock price falls, you make a tidy profit, and our squirrel is living the high life. But on the other side, you've got the brutal reality. The price skyrockets, the losses become absolutely devastating, and our squirrel, well, he's ruined. And that brings us to the climax, the moment the bill comes due and a very painful lesson gets burned into his brain forever. This is the final lesson. As the full, crushing weight of his financial disaster finally hits him, there's only one thing he can do. He just lets out this desperate, horrified scream right into the camera. No! It's a complete classic cartoon meltdown. I mean, his face turns beet red, his fur is standing straight on end, and you can practically see the steam shooting out of his ears. This isn't just disappointment, folks. This is the physical embodiment of financial annihilation. And then, with his face just twisted in agony, he roars the moral of the story. The one lesson he learned way, way too late. Never short stocks. So what's the big takeaway here? It's actually pretty simple. When you short a stock, you're selling something you borrowed, something you don't own. And the thing is, you have to give it back. So if the price goes through the roof, you were forced to go out and buy those shares at that new insane price just to return them. And since the stock's price can, in theory, go up forever, your potential for loss is literally unlimited. And that right there is how you can lose way, way more money than you ever put in. Which really just leaves us with one last thing to think about. Our squirrel was so sure he saw a stock at 80 cents and thought it was a lock, a guaranteed win. It really makes you wonder, is any bet, whether it's in the market or just in life, ever truly a sure thing?